Welcome, fellow Vaginismus sister, for day 3 of your erotic revolution, a love story. I invite you to get cozy, get comfortable, get present with us for another beautiful conversation that wraps up this 3-day initiation. So I'd love to know how you're doing. Drop in the chat here, and you may be here and sleepy, here and hungry, maybe here and feeling inspired. Let us know what's the case for you. I trust that it has been a beautiful sunny weekend. Many of you are out enjoying the outdoors, springtime, coming summer. But I'm so happy to see some of you here live with me to be part of the conversation. Thank you so much. Dee says, here and tired. Yeah, I hear you. To whatever degree you can, rest during this time together. Please get nice and comfortable and give yourself that gift. So as you know, our guidelines and principles, safety, confidentiality, compassion, love, play, comfort, nourishment, love and growth and empowerment is what we're all about. And all of you is welcome here. If any part of this initiation raises any sorts of excitements, questions, concerns, next steps, I want to know, I'd love to know where you're at with your journey, what you've gotten out of this experience, and I want to know you. So please do reach out and tell me what this erotic revolution has sparked within you as hope, as confidence, as inspiration, and maybe a little bit of disbelief that it is possible for you to kick some vaginismus butt, to overcome vaginismus for good. And I know that that was the case for me as well, even in the moments before I first had my first pain-free penetrative experience, which only later became pleasurable. But even up until that moment, I didn't think it was possible for me. I had gotten further, I had made progress, I had moved forward in many ways, but there was still that disbelief. And I feel that this journey really asks us to keep taking action, to keep moving forward, to keep putting one foot in front of the other, even when we have that seed of doubt. That truly is an empowering way to walk through the world, to walk through life, is being courageous in taking action, even if it feels like a lot sometimes. So these 3 days, we've talked about our common past. We spoke about the present, and today we're moving to your beautiful future. So on day 3, we're going to be speaking about overcoming vaginismus, what overcoming vaginismus is not, the reconnection piece of your love story. We're going to watch a video on the summary of what we may have been conditioned into and what we still hold within our system. That's called Be a Lady, they said. Then we're going to explore the sexually liberated woman. Who is this woman? And we are going to actually connect with her. And after that, I'm going to invite you into continuing to walk this path with me in claiming your sexual liberation with the Sexually Liberated Promise. And then we're going to do our insights, questions, celebrations, and of course, our giveaway. So what that overcoming vaginismus is not. The very first thing I want to note is that it's not just about the state of your pelvic floor. Tell me in the chat, what else is it not? It's not just about the state of your pelvic floor muscles. This is not just a physical journey. Yes, there are physical layers, and it's important to address those. By all means, we have to look at our mind-to-body connection in order to be in control of our pelvic floor muscle relaxation. And in order to get there, our full body physical relaxation. But before we get there, we also have to address the emotional and the erotic tied up together in a nervous system reset. What else overcoming vaginismus is not, is that having penetrative sex is not just about being on the receiving end of pain-free penetration. It's not. I have shared with you my story of my first pain-free penetrative sexual experience, aka PIV sex in particular, right? Because penetrative sex can be many things, but my first PIV sex experience that I wrote about in an email that is sitting in your email box really goes to show that that is not where my journey of overcoming vaginismus ended. And the reason it wasn't where it quote unquote ended is because though I had landed some of the physical abilities and skills to relax my pelvic floor muscles enough to allow my partner inside of me, I still had a gap to fill from where I was at as a receptive partner to penetrative sex to where I am now as a sexually liberated woman who feels confident in the bedroom, who feels that I can be fully expressed erotically, who feels that she can communicate her desires and boundaries, right? That is the big picture of what your erotic revolution is all about. Because there are women out there who are having penetrative sex that they are not enjoying, who are able to be that receptive puzzle piece to their partner being inside of them, but they're not actually sexually liberated, who are faking orgasms, who are tolerating numbness, even if not pain, but just meh, eh. We don't want to be um, feeling stuck in that kind of experience. And that is why, even though I myself had went down the deeper parts of my erotic freedom after I was able to have my first penetrative sex experience. I'm bringing now that erotic component to the middle of this journey for you so that you can start to feel like you're loving sex before being able to then simply add penetrative sex to the sex menu and then continuing to enjoy the whole buffet with confidence and with comfort and with peace and with passion and with excitement for what kind of connection is possible between you and what kind of intimacy and vulnerability and connection is possible with the partner or partners of your choice. That is the goal. So overcoming vaginismus is not just about having PIV sex. It's about having pleasurable, passionate, mind-blowing orgasms, going from mind-boggling pain to mind-blowing orgasms that have no limitation, for your sex menu to be full and complete, and for you to be able to pick and choose, close your eyes and choose blindly, of course, from the things that you actually want to experience, whatever your intimacy goals are. So let me know how that lands for you. And going back to our love story, we have kind of gone through, the evolution, and now we've landed on this reconnection piece that we want to focus on today. It's what your beautiful future of reconnecting to yourself looks like. And so I'm curious if you'd like to share, what have the layers of your reconnection looked like so far? A fellow Vaginismus sister that I support, one of her layers of reconnection that she had created for herself long before we ever started working together was her self-confidence in her own skin, her body. That is a really significant layer of reconnection that ties into our sexual liberation journey, that ties into your erotic revolution. And for her, that meant feeling comfortable literally in her skin so that she doesn't feel like she needs to wear makeup every time she goes out. And even in her case, around her flatmates. So let me know who can relate to that kind of discomfort with yourself, with ourselves. Who can relate to not feeling quite at home in your body, maybe even not in erotic ways, but in other kinds of ways. And I invite you to reflect on those layers of reconnection that you have already experienced with yourself and celebrate yourself for how far you have come. And maybe those layers of reconnection also involve specifically reconnecting with your sexuality, reconnecting with your genitals, with your yoni, right? Looking at her, understanding her, touching her, speaking to her nicely. Maybe they involve a reconnection with some of your passions that you had set aside. And that's a beautiful win to reflect on and to celebrate. Where are the areas you have already reconnected with yourself? I would love for us to watch this video that I mentioned, thanks to Girls, Girls, Girls magazine. And I am going to play it for us. It speaks for itself.
Be a lady, they said. Your skirt is too short. Your shirt is too low. Don't show so much skin. Cover up. Leave something to the imagination. Don't be a temptress. Men can't control themselves. Men have needs. Look sexy. Look hot. Don't be so provocative. You're asking for it. Wear black. Wear heels. You're too dressed up. You're too dressed down. You look like you've let yourself go. Be a lady, they said. Don't be too fat. Don't be too thin. Eat up. Slim down. Stop eating so much. Order a salad. Don't eat carbs. Skip dessert. Go on a diet. God, you look like a skeleton. Why don't you just eat? You look emaciated. You look sick. Men like women with some meat on their bones. Be a size 0. Be a double 0. Be nothing. Be less than nothing. Be a lady, they said. Remove your body hair. Bleach this, bleach that. Eradicate your scars. Cover your stretch marks. Plump your lips. Botox your wrinkles. Lift your face. Tuck your tummy. Perk up your boobs. Look natural. You're trying too hard. You look overdone. Men don't like girls who try too hard. Be a lady, they said. Wear makeup. Highlight your cheekbones. Line your lids. Fill in your brows. Lengthen your lashes. Color your lips. Powder, blush, bronze, highlight. Your hair is too short. Dye your hair, not blue. That looks unnatural. Look young. Old is ugly. Men don't like ugly. Be a lady, they said. Save yourself. Be pure. Don't be a whore. Don't sleep around. Men don't like sluts. Don't be a prude. Don't be so uptight. And smile more. Pleasure men. Be experienced. Be sexual. Be innocent. Be dirty. Be the cool girl. Don't be like the other girls. Be a lady, they said. Don't talk too loud. Don't talk too much. Don't be intimidating. Why are you so miserable? Don't be a bitch. Don't be so bossy. Don't be so emotional. Don't cry. Don't yell. Don't swear. Endure the pain. Don't complain. Fold his clothes. Cook his dinner. Keep him happy. That's a woman's job. You'll make a good wife someday. Take his last name. You hyphenated your name. Crazy feminist. Give him children. You don't want children? You will someday. He'll change your mind. Be a lady, they said. Don't get raped. Don't drink too much. Don't walk alone. Don't go out too late. Don't dress like that. Don't get drunk. Don't smile at strangers. Don't go out at night. Don't trust anyone. Don't say yes. Don't say no. Just be a lady, they said.
All the don'ts and shoulds of this video really speak to the societal conditioning that we have grown with. And I'm curious, what layers can you relate to? What did that stir up in you? Let me know what emotions come up, what themes feel most relevant. Is it the relationship to men and how we're supposed to treat them? Is it the way that we're supposed to look and the physical features that are considered as beautiful and sexy? What did that stir up in you? Overcoming vaginismus is about releasing the layers of conditioning that we've all grown up with and reconnecting to the most authentic parts of you, finding peace, joy, and freedom to be who you really are, inviting rest, nourishment, play, and pleasure back into your life, finding safety and vulnerability, openness, and erotic surrender. It is a process of liberation, liberating ourselves from all the just be's and all the shoulds and all the expectations and heaviness and weight on our shoulders of who we're supposed to be for other people. This is a holistic journey that includes so many layers, and overcoming vaginismus does require us to look at those pieces of the puzzle in order to recognize what are the layers that we need to strip ourselves of, ones that we have allowed by accident, right, to be a part of our reality, to be stifling of our expression and our openness and our wilderness as women, our reality, our authenticity, and to simply strip those layers off in order to reveal what has been there all along. Overcoming vaginismus is not about changing ourselves into something we're not. It is actually simply a revealing of who we are authentically. Overcoming vaginismus is about being the sexually liberated woman. And this is an identity. It is identity work that we do. And according to our identity and the beliefs, therefore, that we hold about ourselves as the sexually liberated woman, the behaviors then start to come more naturally as a ripple effect of that deep emotional alignment to our truth, to who we have been all along. So let me know how that lands. And liberate. What does liberate mean to you? If you have a word or two that come up when you think of liberation, what comes up? To me, freedom and liberate is, they're synonyms. So freedom is one of the big principles that I want to live my life by for the rest of my days. And the question is, are we really free ever? And that's a really deep philosophical one as well. We can answer that for ourselves according to our own beliefs and such. But the verb liberate is a release, releasing someone from a situation which limits freedom of thought or behavior. To set someone free from imprisonment, slavery, or oppression. To free someone from societal conventions, especially those concerned with accepted sexual roles. So, a limitation that is upon us and a freedom of that limitation, a freedom of an oppression of sorts. And vaginismus truly is an experience of closure, of protection, and it can be a result of all the shackles of our past that have led us to feel less free in our everyday lives and in our role that we play, whether it's in our family, our romantic relationship, between our friends, in society, at work. We play some sort of role and we wear some sort of mask, oftentimes, according to the person that we're interacting with. And so to liberate ourselves is to take down those masks and to feel comfortable with being our authentic selves in all sorts of contexts. So, as Vaginismus Sisters, as a community, we, in my mind, will always be Vaginismus Sisters because this experience unites us. This pelvic pain and this closure has a common thread that will never go away. We will always be the identity of a Vaginismus sister, and we are walking together on this path of also being sexually liberated. And again, the way that I see it is that we already are. We are simply letting that part of us come forward on center stage for her to feel safe and curious enough to put out a toe and then a little bit more and then be seen in her expression. It is not a changing, it is simply a revealing. So this is a visual that I feel that represents sexually liberated, the sexually liberated woman quite beautifully. I picked a beach scene for our entire sexually liberated space, the invitation that I'm going to share with you, because I personally feel quite free on the beach. It feels expansive and connected to nature and playful and light. And each of these women here walks in her own power, independently, but also in sisterhood. And I feel that the sexually liberated woman does value sisterhood and connection very much. So now we're going to take a few minutes to connect with her, right? And each part of this initiation, we've done some sort of practice because it's so important to be experiencing in our body some of these shifts rather than just talking about them. So I invite you to go ahead and get real comfy. You are welcome to lie down on your bed, on a couch, on the floor if that feels good, on a carpeted area or a yoga mat. And we are going to take a little bit of time to connect with her. So go ahead, find a comfortable space. If you prefer sitting, that's also perfect. Now I'm going to guide us through a short meditation. As you're finding your spot, we're slowly starting to bring our attention inwards, calming your breath, noticing the sensations of the breath, and just inviting her to slow down. Directing your breath towards your lower belly now as you feel it rise on the inhale and gently fall on the exhale. With every breath, you sink a bit deeper into your body. All the activity of the mind, it becomes a little bit more quiet. There's a little bit more space between thoughts. And you're simply inviting in a stillness. Tracing down your back, bringing your full awareness now to your lower belly, just feeling that part of your body. Placing your focus there in the bubble that includes your womb, your pelvic floor. Saying hello once again to your vulva, to your vagina, inviting them into this moment of presence together in sisterhood. And noticing the space of your womb, noticing that this is the center of creation. It is the source of life and where we all came from. And also it's a source of life energy, of power, of creative energy. The energy with which we create children, yes, but we also create dreams, new ways of living, things, relationships. It all starts in this center. So with a couple of deeper breaths now, inhaling through the nose, nice exhale through the mouth, connecting with this space, perhaps even visualizing as if your breath is moving in and out of your womb, as if there's a nose there, and you can breathe into that space. Now go ahead and sense yourself. You might picture yourself or simply feel yourself 1 year from now. That version of you that you're seeing or feeling is living her ultimate life. She is the sexually liberated woman. She's so radiant. She feels exactly how she'd love to feel. You notice a comfort within her. She feels comfortable in her own skin, glowing with joy. She's moving through the world with a sense of peace and courage and openness, and she's having the kind of sex that she desires and as much of it as she wants. She is sensual and fully alive. It's as if you can touch the power that she holds. Power in her expression, her creativity. Notice a glow, almost as if there's a golden glow around her, a warmth. She truly is beautiful. Really, really look at her, observe her. How does her presence feel? What is she doing? How is she moving? What is she wearing? Perhaps you notice those details. Where is she? Really see her and enjoy watching this beautiful, radiant version of yourself. On your next breath in, invite her a little closer. Invite her to come sit with you. This can be in front of you or next to you. Wherever she sits down, just make sure that she's nearby. And then bring your attention to her features, noticing her face, looking into her eyes, at her hair, her sexually liberated smile. What can you see in that face? What can you see in those eyes? Perhaps she has a message for you. Maybe she's speaking, maybe she's making a gesture, maybe there's just a feeling she wants to convey. Allow yourself to receive that. And simply enjoy this moment with her, this meeting with your most radiant, powerful, beautiful self. And go ahead and open your left hand now with your palm facing up to the ceiling and just invite her to hold your hand. And as she holds it, something magical happens. With every inhalation, her energy starts entering you through your hand. Maybe you see it, you can definitely feel it. There is a golden warm light that is coming up your left arm. You start feeling her in your body. This warm, radiant energy coming up your left arm, into your shoulder, into your chest, filling your heart, and then spreading throughout your body, through every cell, all the way down to your feet. Your whole body is being filled with this softness, a peace, a glow, a warmth, a sigh of relief. This beauty that you saw in front of you is now inside of you. And it grows. With every inhale, it grows. The qualities that you felt in her are now in you. Those aspects of her that you admired, you feel them inside of your body now. And you start to feel that you and her are actually the same. The fact that you're able to feel her and her qualities means you have access to them within you. They're already there. In fact, they've always been planted from a seed and growing with every experience into their full expression. Those feelings are real, meaning you're capable of doing what she was doing, being how she was being. And you start filtering your reality as you open yourself up to this moment, to the idea that this image of yourself is real. You start filtering your reality according to those feelings, leading you into that. The power you felt in her, it's yours to feel in your everyday life whenever you need it because you are connected to it. And know that you can always return to this connection, this visual, this feeling. She's always right there for advice, for love, for some warmth and presence. So go ahead and say, see you later, as you let go of her arm and wrap your own arms around yourself, around your body, holding yourself. And as you settle into this shape, take some big breaths. And with an exhale, you melt into this embrace even more deeply, as if you let yourself fall into a hug. dropping into this holding, into these arms, as if you're being held by a lover, by somebody who cares so deeply about you and is there to hold you no matter what. Can you relax into those arms? With every exhale, can you let your body drop a little bit more, soften a little bit more into this embrace? Relaxing the shoulders now, relaxing the face, the belly. Can you feel that you're safe here with you and you? Letting your body unwind, letting your nervous system calm as it realizes that it doesn't have to do anything right now. It can just rest. And if it feels right, go ahead and whisper or say or think these words, I got you, to yourself and to your body. I'm here. I've got you. Whisper these words as if you are sending this message to every cell, reminding your body that you're here with it and that you're listening, that you're present, that you're taking care of it. I'm here with you. And notice how the body responds to these words. And can you speak directly and especially to the parts of your body that feel a little tense or numb or stressed, tight? Say to them, I'm here. I got you. You're safe. So you're simultaneously giving and receiving in this embrace. Feel how you're being held and how you're holding a deeply intimate relationship with yourself, relaxing into that, dropping into that. And if it feels right, you can stroke or squeeze, touch, and gently love on yourself, just as somebody would love on you, or you would love on someone you love so deeply. Stroke your hair, perhaps. Gently touch your skin, just giving, showing, and sharing your love to this incredibly beautiful, unique body, knowing this is your home. How deeply can you arrive home? And I want you to ask now your body, what do you need? And she might respond with a quiet, quiet whisper or a very clear and loud request. Listen closely and know that this message, this need can be different every day. And you get to build a habit every day coming back to her and being in conversation. You ask and you listen because she knows. She knows what she needs. And let these words, her message, lead you today into your day. Let them guide you in how you move, what you do, what you say, keeping that connection. And now go ahead and slowly invite some more movement in your body. Perhaps wiggling your fingers and your toes, becoming aware of the space around you, opening your eyes, and welcome back. How was that for you? Let me know how you're feeling, and if you'd like to share what message she shared with you. What way did your body feel just now as you were in conversation with her? And more than that, who was this sexually liberated woman? How did she feel to you? What does she look like? And not that the looking is important, but when there's that radiance and that glow, there's a different way that she carries herself. Maybe her posture is more straight and confident. Maybe she moves slowly and with grace. There's a sensuality that you noticed. What does she feel and look like? And what does she inspire within you? How did it feel knowing that what you noticed within her, you also feel within yourself? I hope you enjoyed that practice. Remember that we are products of our past, but we don't have to be prisoners of it. And so there comes a moment, many moments in our lives, thresholds that we step through that are big milestones of change. And when we compare the versions of us that moved through the world years ago and ourselves right now, there are layers and layers of evolution and growth that have happened. And as they did between now and years ago, they will also continue going forward. And our beautiful future is only waiting, and it will require courageous change. Not because we're changing ourselves, but because we are stripping ourselves once again of those layers of who we're not really. So I invite you into this home play activity. Dear future me, I see your blank. Let me know what comes to mind. I see your courage. I see your fear. I see your apprehension. I see your resilience. I'm proud of you for. What are you proud of, that future version of you, that sexually liberated woman? What are you proud of her for? What has she done that you foresee yourself being proud of? I'm proud of you for believing in yourself. I'm proud of you for connecting with people who care about you. I'm proud of you for being willing to let go of XYZ. I'm proud of you for setting those boundaries. Proud of you for telling that person how you really feel. I'm proud of you for taking care of your body. I'm proud of you for getting more sleep. I'm proud of you for the healthy habits that you created. What are you proud of her for? And I promise that in filling the gap between you now and the sexually liberated you who has kicked the vaginismus butt, what are the promises that you know you need to make to yourself, the ones that really matter to you? Let's take an opportunity here to honor that commitment to ourselves and honor the words of whatever promise feels most valid and relevant and important to you. We do have to be in that healthy relationship with our word, with what we promise to ourselves. So take that home play activity away. Let me know what comes out of it for you. And now I would love to invite you into something. This is your invitation into a continuation of your erotic revolution and your sexually liberated love story. This is the holistic manuscript to your vaginismus free life. And it is something that I have been so excited about inviting you into. Sexually Liberated is the only experience that supports you in overcoming vaginismus and creating a love life that you adore in such a holistic, empowering, and detailed way. I see this as the main hub for Vaginismus Sisters everywhere, and it is the initiation, the space where fellow Vaginismus sisters walk together in sisterhood to meet whatever intimacy goals they have and really create the life that they desire by design rather than living it by default. And I'm really proud of this space. It is my life's work. Over the last 6 years, I've supported fellow Vaginismus sisters in overcoming vaginismus. And every single piece of resource that I've created and improved on, every training, question and response session has been puzzle pieced together into this manuscript, a holistic approach of overcoming vaginismus under one single roof, and that is sexually liberated. So it focuses on nourishing the mind, the body, and the soul, a holistic approach based on the three pillars of putting vaginismus in the past, which are relate to the emotional, the erotic, and the physical. We've already touched on those. And I've named it a manuscript because I love the idea that we are writing our own love story. We are creating page by page our life naturally. And specifically, I have created this collection of steps, step by step guidance in a form of an original text of an author's work that is submitted to you who get to publish it by living it, by creating change with it. And I invite us, therefore, to be a team in this manuscript coming to life from my experience and the growing collection of experience I have with supporting fellow Vaginismus sisters, tugging in their unique experiences and creating resources to support unique paths of what overcoming vaginismus looks like, all pulled together into one clear-cut, detailed manuscript that you get to hold and use to support you in walking your own path to your sexual liberation. So the promise of Sexually Liberated is that at your unique timing, you'll be able to do all these things. Wear tampons comfortably, get your libido back and learn how to initiate sex in your unique erotic language. Initiating had been such a challenge for me. We speak on this in quite a lot of detail in terms of the erotic languages and certain challenges with initiation and with communication of our desires. But that's a really big one. At your unique timing, also conceiving naturally and having your dream of becoming a mother finally come true, if that is a dream of yours. Having pain-free pelvic exams, transvaginal ultrasounds, and other internal exams. The list goes on, right? Enjoying penetrative sex of any kind and continuing to have PIV sex through your pregnancy journey as well. So these are some of the main, the list is big, of course, and the side effects can include some of these deeper layers that we are letting go of. So letting go of people-pleasing tendencies, learning to set healthy boundaries as a result, right? Feeling erotically alive, magnetic, and sexy, swallowing pills effortlessly. We spoke about that being a common challenge for fellow Vaginismus sisters. Having no fear of injections, releasing perfectionist patterns, anxiety, and even OCD tendencies, and living happily ever after. And of course, partially kidding, but partially not on that one. This experience is a combination of at your own pace resources that you can dive into. The library of Sexually Liberated is extensive and vast, and you get to be in there at your own pace, at your own comfort, getting to tick mark the topics, the lessons, and the sections that you complete within Sexually Liberated. And there's also a live component that you can decide to be a part of if you'd like to. We have live calls every month that are deep dives and question and response sessions that are recorded, and you can come live for them, or you can also consider those as resources that get added to your library that then you can go at your own pace. When you join Sexually Liberated, you essentially get access to your private members area with a login and a password and a beautifully laid out library for all of what's included inside of the program. And we're about to talk about exactly what that is. So the 11 chapters of your Sexually Liberated love story are made up of a variety of different media. So videos, audio practices, and meditations and rituals and worksheets and other written material, journaling prompts, as well as interviews with guests and experts of different fields. Because, like I mentioned before, I do not have all the answers. Nobody does. And it has been really important for me to complete this library of the holistic approach of overcoming vaginismus by also inviting experts of different fields. We've got a pelvic floor physical therapist interview, surrogate partner therapist, someone speaking about myofascial release, and others that are inside of the program. And we're going to continue adding to those based on what your unique interests and needs are. The 11 chapters are the following. So I already gave you a glimpse of some of the sections when we spoke about the gaps to be filled yesterday. And so very quickly, we've got the prologue of your sexually liberated love story, putting vaginismus in the past. And that is a single chapter of the foundations of breaking the cycle of pain, because overcoming vaginismus really is an act of breaking the cycle of pain. The next section is the nervous system reset that you've already seen. That's an absolute must in the journey of overcoming vaginismus. And there are 2 chapters in there, mind to body connection yoga and releasing deep muscular tension. The next section is all about the emotional processing piece, processing with compassion. And this makes up, in my opinion, at least 60% of the path of overcoming vaginismus. That's made up of transforming the pain of the past and dictating your new sexual reality on a fresh slate. Next up, the sections continue. We're getting into the physical components, so physical release and relaxation, gently introducing a penetrative practice only when you are ready for it. And there is clear-cut guidance for you to know when that is, so you can traverse that potentially tricky reintroduction into dilating in a way that is effective and that is pleasurable. So the chapters in there are pelvic floor relaxation exercises and pleasant and effective dilating. Then we've got discovering your authentic sexual self, honoring your unique erotic wiring so that you can reignite the spark to intimacy in a way that feels safe and authentic to you. Whether you're in a partnership or not, there's lots of resources here to use either solo or with another person. And the chapters in there are rekindling intimate connection, erotically embodied, and navigating vaginismus in relationships. And finally, we've got the epilogue of Sexually Liberated, which is all about stepping into the next layer of identity of the liberated and in love woman, freeing yourself further and having fun doing it. So here we're talking about the embodiment of the liberated and in love woman, the unleashed by design, which is all about creating a life by design and releasing some of the other layers of our life structures that have sort of been stepped into by default rather than by a unique choosing and an intentional curation of how we want to live our lives. So here we're freeing ourselves further outside of the sexual component. Alongside the 11 chapters, you also have all of these bonuses. So monthly deep dives. Monthly deep dives are the live calls that we have every single month by topic. These are trainings specifically by topic, and you do not need to have done anything else inside of the program in order to come to these and feel prepared for these. They're all standalone. The next bonus is the monthly question and response sessions. So here you come in with your questions, whether you're live on the call or not, you can communicate your questions and I respond to them in detail. The way you would communicate them is through our community space. Bonus 3 are the four 3-day masterclasses, past masterclasses that we've done that you can enjoy. Bonus 4 is your private digital planner. It is a planner that I helped create that lives online and is an app that supports you in actually being accountable to yourself in your compass of life and your 90-day, monthly, weekly, and daily plan of reaching your big picture goals. We celebrate in there, we reflect on big wins, we practice gratitude, we involve our subconscious in finding the answers to the questions that we have. There's lots of beautiful principles in there. And of course, if you don't prefer using this planner digitally, you can take away some of those principles and use them in any way you wish, whether it is a physical journal or another space you have dedicated to your sexual liberation journey. Bonus 5 is your loving support structure. So it's this community space that I mentioned, and this space lives on an app on your phone. So you have me and your fellow Vaginismus sisters in your pocket to connect with at any point. And the conversation in there is truly heartfelt and beautiful. How fellow Vaginismus sisters have supported each other thus far through separation, celebrated each other with penetrative sex experiences that they've had, that they've shared about. And this is absolutely invaluable, having this community space, because again, healing happens in community and not isolation. Bonus 6 is our monthly giveaways. So, absolutely every single month inside of Sexually Liberated, we have a prize. So far, they've been above a value of $100 USD every single month. And this prize is sent to one lucky winner every month. We announce it on the first day of every month, and then the winner gets announced on the last day of that month. Some of these prizes include pelvic health tools. We've had dilators. Other prizes are self-care and sensuality products. We have a sex blanket coming up. Maybe I shouldn't have said that because it's still a mystery to our sisterhood, but I'm sure they will find out quite soon. There have been sex toys and sensual items to use in the bedroom, a lot of playful pieces that we're infusing into the experience that, quite frankly, also make it very much additionally worth the investment of time and effort because you get showered with prizes. And I'm very grateful to all of my brand sponsors that make this possible. Bonus 7 is access to our love diary. So this is our blog. And bonus 8 is our 12-month step-by-step plan of home play activities. This bonus is only for those of you who decide to join us in our annual manuscript for a full year. If you decide that this is what you want, is to be committed and dedicated to the space for a whole year, though you don't have to be, you do get an extra bonus, bonus 8, which is an entire manual of steps to follow every single bi-weekly period so you don't feel overwhelmed or confused of where you need to go and what to do next. The entire curriculum of Sexually Liberated is organized sequentially by those 3 pillars of putting vaginismus in the past and based on what has worked for fellow Vaginismus sisters before, so you can move through it line by line. And of course, if you want to skip ahead and you know that certain sections are more important to you than others, that is also an option because you can move freely and follow your own curiosity and excitement with which sections you dive into. So that is the holistic curriculum to your sexually liberated love story. I feel it's a complete picture of the freedom that you get to claim for yourself. And of course, we are co-creating that based on the challenges that you uniquely are facing because I'm there with you every step of the way. And this is the space that I dedicate most of my time to every single month. I also support our fellow Vaginismus sisters through private mentorship, which is our Love Without Limitations space. And everyone who is investing in that additional layer is also investing in Sexually Liberated as the foundation to our work together. So your erotic revolution awaits. And the way that you can get involved is by making a choice and then making a sub-choice of simply which manuscript to invest in, whether it's the monthly manuscript or the annual. Everything in the monthly comes in the annual, and then that extra bonus of the 12-step plan is included in the annual manuscript as well. There is investment, a special price that you can take advantage of being here for a free event or watching the recording. So pay attention to the date that's on the screen that has the price rise ever so slightly to give you that extra oomph of knowing that now is the time for you to dive in. I'm also really proud of how accessible this space is for fellow Vaginismus sisters around the world. And I have done my very best to create resources that are accessible on all different layers of how much time you want to dedicate to yourself. And so I invite you either into the monthly or the annual manuscript. And in this case, the price rises on April 7th. So for less than a dinner for two people, you could say, depending on what kind of dinner that is, might be two dinners for two people. For less than that a month, you get to plug into Sexually Liberated and be really connected and reminded of the work that's involved, but also the play that we have fun doing every single month together in sisterhood. Once again, our initiation over these 3 days is an initiation into your story being part of the sister stories or the testimonials on the website shared with our entire community. And so just reminding you again of what is possible. Every single one of these stories is written by a fellow Vaginismus sister who decided that she wants to share her experience with you. And I've collected them and put them out there. Every single story here that you see is from a woman who has worked with me and who's been inside of our community and has had value from the resources that I've created. So there's these stories. You've seen all of these throughout the 3 days, but perhaps you can read through and have a couple of them sort of really land with you that you may want to read about on the website. I was absolutely over the moon when I realized that I even enjoyed using a dilator. I never ever thought this could be possible. Yeah, that's a common experience. Having Katrin by my side to support and guide me has been life-altering. I finally had pain-free sex. Honestly, Katrin, it feels like a dream. I healed and forgave my body. If you're on the fence about working with Katrin, do it. To think that I now have my own success story is unreal. These are, yeah, I just feel grateful to have been part of each of these women's lives. And it's incredible to know how powerful you are, how capable you are. All of this is possible for you. The last home play activity I want to leave you with is to write a love letter. Write a love letter to yourself, to you who just found out that she's experiencing vaginismus. Write to yourself at the beginning of your sexual liberation journey and see what comes out of that. I would love to play for you a love letter that a dear client, a fellow Vaginismus sister who I'm currently supporting, wrote to herself as part of her home play activities. And with her permission, I'm sharing this voice note that she sent me in which she reads this love letter to me. She agreed that this was a really powerful practice. And so I hope that it inspires you to also write this love letter to yourself. So here we go. Dear, where do I even begin? If you had read this letter the day you started this journey, you would not have believed some of what I'm going to share with you. When I first started this journey, I knew something was missing. I knew there was a reason why I hadn't been able to overcome vaginismus yet. Little did I know the transformation would seep into every area of my life. I know that it has been so difficult trying to live with all the trauma and overcome challenge after challenge. Experiencing the body responsive vaginismus was only one piece of the puzzle in a severely overwhelmed nervous system. The minute I got off my first Zoom call, I knew in my gut everything was about to change, but I never realized the extent.
I felt more shifts even immediately than ever before. There have been more wins and insights than I could ever express in one letter, but each day I'm breathing in the feeling of increased relaxation in my body. I didn't realize how much tension I stored in every part of my body, through every movement and in every moment. When I move more freely now and have so much more flexibility. The emotional journey has been different than simply trying to understand the past. I've discovered new tools for processing the past that allows it to feel integrated. I finally feel now that it's possible for the past to remain in the past. I found emotional healing on a soul level, not just my cognition. The sexual liberation journey has brought me so much peace to some of my past experiences. Discovering my sexual blueprint and finally celebrating more of my authentic desires reconnected me to myself. I no longer feel that I need to dampen my sexuality because of my past experiences. I know you're nervous because your experience with physio and thereby dilating was clinical and honestly painful and nerve-wracking. Well, it certainly won't be that way this time. You will have fun with dilating. You will feel connected to your body and experience pleasure along the way. Inserting Dilator 1 will be an entirely different and more comfortable experience than ever before. I don't feel rushed in this journey, and I'm excited to see where it goes next. Each step will not only bring progress, but pleasure too. The opportunity for exploration will also open up new pathways in your relationship with you. We have done so much growing together in this journey. We are both in a place where we are being more authentic to ourselves. It's beautiful to know someone so deeply and yet grow to know them even deeper. I know you have concerns about your ability to open up. It isn't easy to be honest about what we've experienced sometimes. It is far easier to place walls between yourself and the emotions. But don't worry, you'll feel more comfortable sharing than you could ever imagine. There will be so many things you thought you would never say out loud that all of a sudden feel easy. Every time, without fail, you will be glad you spoke your truth because you receive much needed safety, validation, and wisdom. This will only drive the reconnection back to your body. Finally, not only will this journey impact you, but others around you. He has been inspired to start his own health and fitness journey. I feel more connected to my family because I have found emotional processing and understanding for old hurts. Your mom will also be inspired to work on regulating her nervous system because she can see the positive effect it has on you. There are some experiences in this world that change you so deeply, there's just no words. There are so many more exciting things to come that I know are just waiting around the corner. The most unexpected outcome is this feeling of waking up in my life. It's hard to explain, but I feel lighter and less like I'm looking at the world through a fog. I feel like myself again, and it feels amazing. It's not that I was ever lost, and it's not a feeling that I found myself. It's more a feeling that some of the most joyful pieces of myself that make me feel whole were repressed. Now I have created space for those pieces of myself to express freely. I have felt such a deep shift and transformation within myself. My body, something I felt I was fighting, now feels like my home again. So as you begin this beautiful journey, remember that nothing is a coincidence. You're on this path for a reason. Continue following your intuition, and you will not only take beautiful steps in overcoming vaginismus, but also in moving forward with your health as a whole. Things unfold in perfect time. So for now, just know everything is going to be okay. In fact, it will be incredible. There are brighter days ahead for you, and they are far closer than you think. Now, it's time to discover it for yourself.
There are brighter days ahead for you, and they're closer than you think. I love that. And thank you to N for sharing these words with our whole community. This was a home play activity that I invited her into before we ever touched the physical aspects of this journey. And there was an anticipation and a little bit of worry, what is going to happen next, especially because she had already tried dilating and physical therapy and it didn't go well. And we knew that introducing those things back into the picture needed to happen at a perfect time when she had benefited from a nervous system reset. She had done a lot of the emotional work. She had reconnected with herself erotically. All of that had happened before some of these wins I'm about to show you. And the last one of these wins was just a week ago. So here's a little bit of the evolution, right? We started with the nervous system. She speaks about her first TRE session, feeling really calm and relaxed. My tension was significantly lower in my body. My mom even noticed that my face and shoulders looked more relaxed and she felt a difference. Please go ahead and read some of these words. I was crying. My emotions felt very unblocked and free in my body. This was after the TRE session. This notes the importance of the foundational work before we move forward with some of the dilating. So she said, I'm curious how this will continue to change as I keep practicing. Her meditation started to feel more deep, relaxing to a greater degree than before. And keep in mind that she is also battling a chronic illness. And so our 5 months together now have had moments of rest and pause on her vaginismus journey because of the flare-ups that she was experiencing going through chronic pain. So lots of layers to this. Then, after this letter, dilator one news. Okay, so exciting news. During my dilator practice a few days ago, I inserted the first dilator with no pain. I was surprised by how easy it felt without tension. There was minor transient discomfort in particular places when I removed the dilator, but it was still a comfortable process. I couldn't believe the difference from when I tried dilating in the past. In the next couple of days, I got my period and inserted dilator one again with no pain. I was able to move the dilator for 5 minutes too without any tension. Again, there was slight discomfort, but didn't feel painful at all. It was even pleasurable. This was with dilator one. And also, she says, previously I was never comfortable with inserting dilators on my period. You don't have to be, by the way. This was completely her choice to try this. And so she says, I was surprised by my comfort level. I'm really happy with this experience and feel like I'm on a great track so far. I wanted to share this piece and also this real time progress that we're celebrating together because there's lots of complete story testimonials that I've shared and you can read yourself as well, but also some of those can feel a little bit out of reach. So I wanted to draw in on the detail of the stage by stage evolution. So after dilator one, we now have an update on dilator three. And of course, there's lots of messages exchanged in between these, but as an update, I'm still on dilator three, but I've noticed it's becoming easier. I was able to try the new exercise you suggested. It was even more clear to me, being conscious of my body tension during heightened pleasure, that it's a factor in my vaginismus. It's definitely helping for my body to practice coming back down the scale. A work in progress for sure. Because I gave her some tips and invitations on how to be able to experience more pleasure, use her breath, and use a particular scale that we work with during a penetrative practice so that it can become more pleasurable. She says, I also did the practice of crying while looking in the mirror. It was even more impactful than I could have imagined. I opened up my arms too. It felt unnatural at first, but then it was nice to fully embrace the emotion. It actually sparked a lot of self-compassion. Again, this being a personalized practice that I invited her into because of the challenges that she had felt with feeling completely at ease and in a state of witnessing of her sadness, because we tend to contract while experiencing emotion, and learning to open and surrender to those sensations. It's a really beautiful practice ground for doing the same also in our vaginismus journey. And then dilator 4. So this is the most recent win that we celebrated together. She says, I wanted to send an update. I have been making so much progress with dilating. The trigger point release work is helping immediately. I was finally able to move on to dilator 4, which was so exciting. I also had a great night recently with boyfriend. He was able to slide one finger inside, and I experienced massive pleasure with no pain. G spot for the win with oral too. Paying attention to breathing deeply made for a much deeper orgasm too. It is so encouraging for my vaginismus journey. I couldn't even believe the difference in relaxation in my body. So huge celebration there. That is absolutely the motivation I need at this stage of dilating. Tell me, what does that spark within you? It is such a joy. It is the greatest joy to be right there with you through each one of these wins. And of course, there are times where we feel like we're never going to get back on the horse, so to say. But with the right amount of community, sisterhood, and personalized support, you do. And then the wins continue from there until her story also gets to be published on the Love Diary to inspire another fellow Vaginismus sister. So I'm so proud of you, Anne, and thank you for sharing your progress with our community. So again, the invitation, when you head to my website, you can see this page, and this is where you can read more detail about our journey together, the holistic manuscript to your vaginismus-free life. And I wanted you to know that you can start with us, try the space, see exactly what it is. And if you're not satisfied, I give you your money back, because if you decide that that's not the space for you, you can let me know within 7 days of your investment. And essentially, you had a trial run with really being in it and then making a decision from within rather than feeling like you need to commit and then be surprised by something that you didn't think you wanted. So I'm a big fan of this satisfaction guarantee. And this is the spot on the online world where you can actually join us. When you scroll down to the section of Claim Your Freedom, you can choose between the monthly manuscript or the annual manuscript. And again, remember that date of when the price goes up. If you happen to watch this later on and you see that the page takes you to a wait list, well, that's because enrollment isn't open. And if enrollment isn't open, you get to put your name on the wait list and then join us when we open doors again. So there is a limited time to come in with us and have small groups of women join the sexually liberated movement together. You don't feel like you're joining all by yourself. So I trust that I've ignited that fire of hope within you, certainty that you too can overcome vaginismus. And I'm handing over the torch and inviting you to do the work to keep the flame alive. I hope that you join us within the space. I so very much look forward to supporting you more personally, to getting to know more parts of your story, and to witnessing your blossoming within the program as you write your own love story and claim your erotic revolution. So, insights. So what insights are you taking away? How will you put this into practice? Maybe there's an insight that came through the practice of connecting to the sexually liberated woman within you, or the practice of the love letter to yourself, realizing some aspects about your own reconnection to yourself. Tell me what insights you're taking away if you'd like to share right now, real time, or feel free to message me or email me with your insights from these 3 days. Questions. What questions come up for you? Questions about anything I shared. I'm an open book. You can ask me about any single thing, and I would love to point you in the right direction if I don't feel that I have a response to actually be valuable for you. So let me know your questions. You might have questions about sexually liberated. There is also a frequently asked questions section in the site that you can take a look at. And celebrations. What are you celebrating about yourself? I'm curious whether celebrations are starting to come more easily to you. Maybe that's the case with our 3 days. And that is also a really beautiful thing to take away to create a habit of celebration. And if you decide to join us and you have your hands on that digital planner that I mentioned, then that habit and tradition of celebrating yourself, I know is going to grow roots and become more anchored within your reality, because the thing that we practice and that we bring our attention and focus to is the thing that grows and blossoms from there. So it's going to become more and more natural as we keep meeting each other. And with every live call that we have the women coming in. There are 27 women inside of Sexually Liberated right now. We have those conversations get real, raw, and vulnerable, and we celebrate each other. Finally, our giveaway. In order to enter our giveaway for this event special prize, right? So only people who have been here, who are watching the recordings, you get to enter our giveaway. And we're announcing our winner next week over email. Go ahead and either email me or DM me on social media the words sexually liberated. And I know that you want to enter our giveaway. And I'll also send you a link where you can dive into the details of this program. I want to leave you with this thought. No amount of thinking or planning can replace raw courage. It is often the last ingredient we add, but ironically, the only one we really need. And so there may be a part of you that feels, I don't know enough. I'm not prepared enough. I don't have enough time right now in my life. And there are many reasons for which we can delay our revolution. The only thing we truly need is a leap of faith. It is courage to believe in ourselves, to know that we're going to be able to pull it together, to show up for ourselves, even when it's not perfect, that our efforts are going to go a long way. And whatever capacity we have is a capacity worth investing in our sexual freedom. And of course, I'm also a big believer that you know your timing. That may not be right now, but a seed is planted, and I know that you are going to make the right choice for you, whatever that is. I trust in that. I believe in you. And if I happen to be the right person to walk with you on your path to your sexual liberation, then it's going to be my deepest honor. And I very much look forward to that journey that you go on and witnessing you in whatever shape or form. So thank you once again for joining us. I hope you have an incredible rest of your day, and I look forward to connecting with you soon.